Hey, Dr. Chris here, your friendly neighborhood acupuncturist. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about the health benefits of exercises like Tai Chi and qigong. This is something that I got into for many years and very much enjoyed, and it helped me learn a lot about my body and how to take care of myself better, health-wise. So I wanted to share this with you. You know, in Tai Chi, if you've ever seen Tai Chi, people move very slowly, right? And you think, what kind of exercise is that? Moving slowly? Well, let me help you with that. First of all, let's talk about mind-body connection. You know, when you move fast, you're using big muscles that you typically use all the time. And if there's a billion muscles in your body and you only use 100 all the time, those are the ones that get used, those are the ones that get fed, those are the ones that get exercised, and all the others, they kind of go to sleep. It's called atrophy. And they don't get used as much. Our mind doesn't connect to those other muscles as much. You know, if you look at the spine, for example, every segment, every vertebrae within the spine has individual like muscle fibers and muscles basically that are connecting some uh, segments to other segments. And then there's others that goes a little bit further up the spine. Okay, there's lots of little muscles within the spine so that we can move our spine like a snake basically. And to be able to do that, you have a lot of little muscles, but we don't tend to do that, right? We don't tend to move that way unless you're like a ballerina or a martial artist or someone, in gymnastics that's really moving their body well. We don't tend to use those muscles. We tend to use the big clunky muscles that I call them clunky because they're big and they move our body in big ways instead of like with finesse and small movements. If we're walking around and we're tripping over things and we're not very aware, and we got bruises, and I don't know how I got that bruise. Where did that bruise come from? Because you bumped into something the other day and you don't even remember. It's amazing. We're lacking awareness. We're lacking that mind-body connection. Okay, and so by practicing in a methodical and mindful way an exercise like Tai Chi, and it doesn't have to be Tai Chi. It could be just coloring. It could be other things where you're very mindful and you're very patient and you take your time. This sort of slow type movement could be beneficial in a lot of different ways. Like chewing your food slowly, tasting it, letting the flavors stimulate you, being appreciative, appreciating the food and the substance you're getting from that food, all the nutrition. Um, this kind of slowing down of things. We're in such a fast-paced society, go, go, go. It kind of really affects us in a lot of ways. Tai Chi and another exercise called qigong, which Tai Chi is a type of qigong. Qi is energy, and qigong is the study of energy. Tai Chi is a martial art, and Tai Chi means grand ultimate, and the full name is Tai Chi Chuan, which is grand ultimate fist. This is implying a martial art, but it's based on qigong and the idea of moving energy through the body. And we try to be very thoughtful and moving slowly, taking a slow step, being mindful of how your body is positioned, how your bone structure is aligned, the individual muscles that are being used through that movement, your mind leading your energy down your arms, out through your legs to facilitate that movement. All of that is structured within the practice of Tai Chi and Qigong. And when we move this way, we access those smaller muscles which don't tend to be used, and our body becomes more alive. Blood flow needs to go to areas that are being used. When they're not being used, the body says, okay, I'm not going to send too much resources over that way. So if you want your body to be more alive, move slowly. Isn't that interesting? um, you know, there's another paradigm that I like to talk about when it comes to exercise. There's strengthening, which is like, you know, you're like tightening a muscle. Say you squeeze your hands, it's like a tightening, right? That's strengthening. If I want to stretch, that's another type of exercise. I stretch, I open up, I stretch my wrist, for example. So you got strengthening, you got stretching. There's also loosening, okay? So it's not strengthening, it's not stretching, it's loosening, where like I'm just loosening my wrist joint. I'm doing a circle and trying to keep the joint loose, okay? And maybe I'll go clockwise for a bit and then I'll go counterclockwise, okay? So you can do that with all the joints in the body, and that's a loosening type exercise. And I bring that up because oftentimes we're looking for ways to manipulate our body. People need to strengthen, people need to stretch. Sometimes people need to loosen, okay? And when we loosen, say we want to loosen up our neck, and we just do kind of a circle with our nose, and we draw a circle like this. This doesn't seem like there's much going on, okay? But here's what's happening within the Tai Chi and qigong realm. We're thinking about the movement. We're putting kind of an energy pattern of circulation through that movement into the body. We're leading it with our mind. We're thinking of a circular pattern, okay? We inhale half the circle. We exhale the other half. And again, inhaling half the circle, exhale the other half. And we lead energy through the tissue structure in the neck as we make that movement. We lead it with our mind, okay? So mind, body, and breathing are being unified, okay? What's important here is that the movement is slow. We're being mindful, okay? And also, you know, in what way are we being mindful? We're paying attention to that circular movement. Now, as you move through that circle in any particular joint in the body, whether it's wrists, elbows, shoulders, there's a whole set of exercises like this that you can learn when practicing Tai Chi and Qigong. And I have this on a website that you can purchase and sign up for. It's just like a one-time kind of fee. I think it's like $49 for each set. You can learn some Qigong right out of your own home, just following along. But the thing that I want to point out is within that circle of movement, you're going to notice things about how your body's moving. As you move through the circle, you may notice, oh, as I get to this area, I start to feel tightness maybe in the back of my neck here. And then I move out of that part of the circle and the tightness goes away. Then you start to notice, oh yeah, it's always tight in that area, you know? Or you hear a little creaking, or there's some sensitivities there, or whatever. You just notice you can't make the circle perfect. You can't make a perfect circle. Maybe it's a little restricted in that area. But other areas seems more open. You can do a big circle, but then some areas it's kind of tight. That brings awareness, right? That brings more of your mind connecting with your body. And through those circular movements and through all the joints in the body, as you practice, you start to become aware of your abilities, your limitations, where you're open, where you're closed, where your body is moving well, where your body's not moving well. And then over time, as you do this, you gain control, because through these movements, you actually feel uncoordinated at first if you've never done them before, because you're not used to moving that way. And there are muscles involved you're not used to using. But as you start to practice those exercises, you become more accustomed to them, and you start to activate muscles that haven't been used. You start to move better. You're able to walk better. You know, sometimes just walking we take for granted. We just kind of throw our legs out there and our body kind of clunks along down the street, and all of a sudden we trip over something. Or through lack of awareness, we're not moving well, and we end up hurting ourselves because we kind of walk in a way, or we just move in a way that strains muscles, and we're not aware of it. But gaining awareness will help us to gain control and help us to use our bodies better and be more mindful. Excuse me. And with that increased level of awareness, you can choose better self-care practices for yourself. You know, you go to the gym, you exercise. Well, there may be certain exercises you need more than others because you're not as flexible and you need to maybe stretch your legs better. Because when you go to do the walking, you pull muscles in your back because actually the legs, which are connected to the back, are not stretched out and they're tight, and you walk too much and it puts a lot of strain on the back. Every time you take a step, it's harder for the back muscles to kind of mobilize and move your body. So learning exactly what exercises to do for you and your body type is going to be putting you on a higher level of awareness and prevention and a higher level of health. So think about those things when you're choosing exercises. Think about working with a practitioner like myself who understands these things to get some specific tips. Even if it's for one session, you come in, hey, what do you think? Can you give me some tips on how my body movement is? You know, I have some aches and pains. I'm wondering what my limitations are. I'm wondering what I can do better to move, to maybe some stretching or strengthening or loosening exercises so that my body functions better to support me through my day, whether it be carrying my children or going to work or just sitting comfortably to watch TV. Or do something with friends and socialize, So it's important to kind of develop a deeper mind-body awareness and consider slow type exercises, which you can find in Tai Chi and qigong. And you can find this on my website. I do have a link that I'll share with this video, and you can check out the 4 Seasons Qigong. And there's 4 different sets of exercises that you can get into and learn about. And it's just a video watching me, and I explain it in great detail so you can understand how it can impact your body in a healthy way. I hope you found this video helpful. Please share and like and pass on the info. I like sharing info that's going to be beneficial to people. And until next time, keep on the sunny side.